President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Mitt Romney. He looks so much like Tim Belletti, who's in the traffic out there trying to get here, that I figure, why not have him stand behind me? The cameras will think it is Tim Belletti, right? Yeah. Wow, it's great to be here again in Nevada with my friends in Las Vegas. You're so kind to be here. Thanks for turning out, giving me such a welcome. And I know you're here not because things are great right now in Nevada, but because things are going to be great in Nevada after I'm president. You know, we have a guy as president who we didn't know very well as a country when he got elected. And we wondered what would happen if we elected someone who had no experience. Now we know. Yes. And it hasn't been real good for Nevada. I think he thought he was trying to help, but my guess is it did not help when he talked down Las Vegas as a convention center, did it? And it probably didn't help when he talked about raising taxes on the American people, did it? What do you think about, did it help or not to put in place Obamacare that raised costs for American consumers? How about the idea of cap and trade to raise the cost of energy? Did you like that idea? How about the idea of something called Dodd-Frank, which makes it harder for banks to make loans? Well, there's a lot of no coming from this audience, and frankly, I'm glad to hear that, because when it comes to President Obama, he's a nice guy, but he just doesn't know what it takes to get the economy working, and so you have 13.5% of Nevadans out of work right now. You have home values going down in Nevada. You've got across the country a decline in median income by some 10%. And the question is, do you want 4 more years of that? No! What I believe it's going to take to get America working again is someone who's not a lifelong politician, but instead someone who knows how the economy works, who's been in the private sector, and who will get America working again. Do you want that? Yeah! Look, I spent my life doing what you do. I worked in the private sector. I worked in a small business, helped start a small business, helped turn around a couple of businesses. I've been in charge of 4 different businesses. 3 were turnarounds and 1 was a startup. I was lucky enough to see success in those. Not everything I did turned out well, but most things did. I learned from those experiences, and I want to use that experience to get America working again. And let me tell you the things you got to do. 1, got to get our tax rates competitive with other countries. 2, you got to get regulations and regulators encouraging the private sector, not tamping it down. 3, you got to have trade regulations and trade laws that open up markets for American goods and cut down on cheaters like China. Number 4, you got to get America energy independent, energy secure. We are an energy rich nation. Number 5, you got to have the rule of law. You don't want to have the National Labor Relations Board telling Boeing they can't build a factory in a non-union state. That's right. You got to have great schools that teach our kids to be able to be skilled for the jobs of tomorrow. And finally, you have to cut back on the scale of the federal government and spending. You got to cap how much they spend. You got to have a balanced budget to make sure that the federal government stops spending more money than it takes in. That's right. Look, I know we've got big problems. And you've heard about the challenges America faces. When you got 25 million people out of work in this country, or stopped looking for work, or in part-time work when they need full-time employee, you know President Obama hasn't been working. You know when home values are declining, President Obama hasn't been working. You know when the people in this, it's on the golf course, he's working for something, I heard that. I'll tell you one thing, I'll spend a lot more time working than this president has and a lot less time on the golf course, that's for sure. And I got to tell you as well that I'm confident in the future. And I know that some people wonder about that. But let me tell you, we are a innovative, creative people. We can outwork anyone else on the planet. America is the most productive nation in the world. And you might think, well, what does that word productive mean? It means output per person. We do more per person in this country than any other people on earth. We have what it takes to have the strongest economy, to have the middle class in this country feel good again, to have jobs for ourselves and for our kids and for people going to school to know when they come out they can get a job. I am confident in the future of America because of the American spirit. And there's one more aspect that gives me confidence, and that is we're a patriotic people. Yeah. We love this country. Yeah. We believe in America. We believe in the future. We don't believe that the future will be darker than the past. We believe in a bright and prosperous future. We place our hand over our heart during the playing of the national anthem. No other nation on earth does that. That was a tradition begun by FDR during the Second World War, asking us to show respect for those that were losing their lives in far-off places. We're a patriotic people. We love America. What we're looking for is leaders that also love America, that know how to lead, that have had experience in the private sector, that know how to create jobs, that will tell the truth, that will live with integrity, and will draw on the patriotism of the American people. And if we do that, America will overcome our challenges and remain, as we have been destined to be, the hope of the earth and the strongest nation on the planet. And I intend to be one of those leaders.
You should get going. I think it's about